Okay. So basically, I've been, I've been playing Battlebit for a good amount of time now. I've got probably like 70 hours in the game at this point. Basically, something I noticed really early on in Battlebit was that they didn't actually have shotguns in the game, which was very odd to me because like every other FPS, like has shotguns just because they are, used in wars and in military conflicts and such. So it's just kind of odd because there are a decent amount of players in every FPS that do like using shotguns, so it is a little bit weird to me. But I assumed it was, for possible balance issues, sometimes people just, are annoyed when they get killed with a shotgun, whatever, right? This video is basically to try to outline the reasons why I believe shotguns should be added to BattleBit. Actually, like 20 minutes ago, I actually started talking about adding shotguns to the game in the BattleBit Remastered Discord, and I got a lot of people debating it. So I just decided I might as well make a video saying the main reasons why it's probably a good idea to add them. And I think it's probably detrimental overall to the game's health to not have this type of weapon in the game because it's in every other FPS. It's used in military conflicts, right? It's so basically the main reasons the devs have said they're not going to add it is because balance issues. They don't know if they can add the weapon into the game. They don't know if they can add the gun into the game. Balanced. And I don't see that as a good reason not to add a weapon, right? Uh, there's plenty of there's a pretty good comparison I could make. Like for example, there's just there's a lot of things you can actually make from this. Um, and you need to realize that at the end of the day, you can work on balancing things. Once they're added, you can probably try to add the shotgun pretty weak. You can make the range, kind of absolutely abysmal. Because, the one really big pet peeve about shotguns in games is sometimes they have too far range. So they can be one shot at you from too far. Uh, in other FPS games, a lot of times when that happens, they'll just shorten the range. Honestly, I think to be safe, they should just add the shotguns in weak. Just keep them an objectively weak weapon, but still keep the one shot in close quarters combat. When they're in your face, but just make the range abysmal. That would make the shotgun actually balanced overall and not actually strong like overall. But you can still have that shotgun niche of just getting in someone's face and one shotting them. It just, in my opinion, balance issues are not a reason to not add an entire class of weapon. Because it's in every other FPS using military conflicts and such. The second reason is I believe a good portion of players are not playing the game or buying the game because the type of weapon they want to use is simply not in the game. So, I mean, I could say at least like 5 to 10% of players want to use shotguns. That could be 5 to 10% of players that just aren't playing the game or buying the game because the type of weapon they want to use just isn't in it. Um, you know, basically, and I think that's true. Probably like 5 to 10%. It could be less. It could be more. I don't know. I'm spitballing at this point. This is the same thing I've already said. Just make the range abysmal, so the people who don't like shotguns will not complain about getting killed from too far, and they will actually be balanced overall. Not adding shotguns in BattleBit is the exact same thing as not adding the sniper or the rifle. You have plenty of people that complain about getting one shot from the sniper from long range. And that could be an argument. Using this logic, it could be a good argument not to add snipers, but that would be wrong because a good amount of people like using snipers, and we should let them do that. Just balancing the weapon as we go on. Um, basically, and it's the same thing with the rifle too, because at that point you're just alienating a good portion of players and their play styles and weapon choice for balance issues possibly, or just for some people just not liking playing against the weapon. I don't like playing against the sniper getting one shot on, certain maps that are big, but I think they should be in the game, personally. I think because everyone should be able to use what type of weapon they want. There's plenty of massively successful games that have shotguns. It's been the status quo in all FPS games, like MW2, Battlefield, Black Ops 2. All of these games have shotguns, and they were either massively successful at the time period, and they were successful for a long time, or they're still successful to this day. Arguably, Battlefield 2042 is relatively successful, not nearly as successful right now as Battlebit is, but they did have a massive launch. That's something to consider. Basically, and shotguns are easily countered. I know a lot of people like to say shotguns are just unfun to play against, and I get it. There are some aspects of certain weapons that can be unfun to play against. But if you're, in a close quarter combat situation with a shotgunner who likely has, who likely is, they're there likely because you're going to see your teammate walk in and die, something like that, or whatever. If you're, in that situation and you're getting one shot in their face, like, I'm sorry to say, like, it can be annoying, but it is your fault for being there. This makes them balanced if they are actually a one-shot weapon in the face and have abysmal range. This is something I've already covered. MW2, Battlefield, Black Ops 2, good examples of successful games with have shotguns and had decent balance in them because they did get them to decently balanced. And snipers are arguably harder to balance than shotguns are. And they have the same argument that they could be unfun to play against, but you should add them into the game, in my opinion. I got a lot of people talking about it in the Discord. I know the head developer has said he does not want them in the game. That's what I've heard. I do not know if this is true, but I have heard that he says he does not want them in the game. So, this is kind of like an open message to the community and also the developers of this game. To try to, maybe consider adding the shotgun and balancing them in a way where, it doesn't shoot too far, stuff like that. It doesn't reach you at, long distances and such. And it really just still fulfills that niche. If you were to add shotguns and you were to, fulfill that niche but keep them very, very low range, they could be a weak weapon, but at the end of the day, you're still bringing in all of those players that are alienated by the fact they don't have their weapon, right? So, I got this, we got a lot of talk going on here. This is the first time I've seen, a lot of talk about this topic go on in this community for a while. So yeah, if you guys want to put down your comments, I know there's probably going to be a decent amount of comments arguing for it, decent amount of arguments, against it, because it is a very, very debative topic. It's, there's a lot of talk to be had about it. But this is my opinion on why they should be added. As a shotgun player myself, I feel very, alienated the fact that there isn't shotguns in the game. I'm just using LMGs right now, but to be honest, I don't like using them nearly as much as I would with a shotgun. And I'd be fine if they were added weak. That's personally my opinion. I just want to fulfill that niche. So yeah. Sergeant Okie Dokie, I love your game, and I love, all three developers that have made this game. All three of you have made an amazing game. I just think this is something that could make it better. And I really hope that, we can, give it a really good thought and just maybe talk about it a little bit on the team, for the developers and such. If we can get some talks going, and, that's all I really want. At the end of the day, it's just a game. If they're not added, it's just a game. But this is my opinion. So thank you guys for watching, and peace out.